Yeah, I paint the big picture, scary and black, so to exaggerate the threat, so we know what we're after. When we're done switching paths, we'll be flowing in rapture. Knowing once in the past we was holding the map to eat and eat what was free in the glorious pasture. What's stopping you and me?
You guys haven't heard my new song. It's not up yet, but I just made this new song in which I said everything that I ever wanted to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's called Fight Music, and I think that fight for. Is it wrong to fight for what is ours? That was supposed to be short. The beauty and the conflict. Not just the beauty.
Yeah, by the way, Zack never has said buy my CD or anything. That was just a complete distortion of his positions for the character that I made, because I thought it was more funny and ironical in the perception that I distorted. So the character is completely separate. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's more of a tribute from the ideas that he had, and then I just distorted it and twisted it like conceptual Play-Doh. Mm-hmm. So please note that these characters, even Mendy Fails and Al from the Frisco, they're just taking on distorted concepts of that person to make it's just like a creative kind of outlet. So
right.
That clears up the confusion, hopefully.
Parody, not reality.
Yes.
There you go. You know what you were hinting at before, Zack, about technology sort of becoming this fetish where all we want to do is make life easier, or genetically manipulate our bodies, or use plastic surgery to make ourselves look a certain way because that's the style that season or whatever. It seems like using technology for such frivolous, consumerist endeavors, that's what's, eating up the resources of the planet. And there's no reason that we need any of that if we had more, I would say more spiritual values, where it's sort of you appreciate what you already have. Why do you need to somehow, you think that there's some progress to be made? Or
here's the thing, Zack, could a woman that got breast implants, could she be spiritual in your eyes? And could she be okay? I mean, or is she falling into that trap of materialism? Is there a more complex dimension of human being that could both embrace this seemingly shallow kind of perspective, but what if they were much more than that?
No, I don't see how that. I'm not trying to. No offense to any women who would be having breast, or if you guys are thinking about getting breast implants. More power to you.
I can make a good parody. I'm just saying. All right.
No, but I don't. It's not so much about you shouldn't get breast implants because they're like, a relic of this sick materialist culture.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't get breast implants because there's nothing wrong with your breasts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you could be spiritual. I just don't. I don't think.
Okay, let me put it this way. Have you ever seen? There was this gentleman that was on named PH Value for a long time. He hasn't made videos for a while, but he viewed it. His perception of reality is more as we inhabit avatars, and it doesn't matter how you want to customize your avatar, as long as you realize that you're the game player behind the MMORPG. As long as you realize that, then you are the same caliber of spiritual in his perspective. And I like the kind of analogy he used, because it was very modern, since you have so many people playing these online games. And you have your criticisms of that, but it was a good analogy, I thought, for this.
No, it's just scary.
Yeah, I think that's almost part of the problem with our detachment from reality in this age, because we think that the body is an avatar, but no, this is what you are.
Well, that's right, but can you get detached and then detached from that? I mean, can you get detached from the detached perspective? Mm-hmm. So it's always about this balancing game. How much of you is not, how much of you is,
well,
how much do you identify with?
That's a perspective that one can take, and one can really live life from that perspective, so it's valid in that sense.
Yeah, it's a type of modern dualism in a sect. Yeah. But was everything completely wrong about this dualistic worldview, or did we?
Not necessarily, but it seems to be the only thing. I mean, this technophilia that we have to transcend death is sort of that idea that somehow we're this spirit that lives inside the body that is not the body, and that the body is just this vessel that we have to somehow make better.
It just makes me want to scream. I heard a little girl compare a bird to an airplane. I don't want to. Whatever.
Well, that's what's happening. I mean, as we speak, I think they're trying. Craig Venter, the guy that worked on the Human Genome Project and everything, he's about to make a cell from scratch. So artificial life, is going to be created in a few months.
Yeah, game over.
Yeah. So we're already.
I don't know.
We're already there.
So I guess I'm taking this position because I represent a position that criticizes or points out the kind of limiting belief of a postmodern kind of critique of modernity and materialism. I want to bring back, well, what was healthy? Is it okay? I want to bring back access to a more complex individual. You have more options on the table to do with your life what you want, a freedom type of thing, as long as it's not at the whole, hurting the whole, I guess. What we're talking about in this holistic channel, Holon's Network, is walking with these paradoxical, these conflicting views, and you've categorically made a new dimension, this third dimension of how you view reality on the whole of things. It's a more balanced, therefore you can get into more of the parties type of perspective. How much are you in agreement with that? I mean, do you like what we're doing here? Or do you have criticisms of it? Are we just mentally masturbating here, or what the hell is going on?
Well, I just want to remind you guys that you're in San Francisco, and I want to ask when the last time you talked to or saw a real redneck was.
Before I moved here, I was for 24 years of my life, I was in the Central Valley of California. Very ethnocentric, lots of McCain-Palin signs out there, lots of yes on 8.
Yeah, but they're not here, so I get his point.
I know what you're saying, but majority of my life was like that, actually.
Yeah.
Just this new,
we got Hicks here, and I don't think that, it's like, I think there's more dumb Hicks than spiritual, intellectual, pot-smoking, neo-hippies. And I think that's part of why I dropped out of college, is because I think that there's got to be a way. It's like, it's not enough. I don't think it's enough. I don't think walking away is enough, and I don't think, everybody rising to some spiritual plane is enough, because I don't think that spiritual plane is available to people who have to work 70 hours a week. It's like they don't have the time to be thinking about that if they're selling crack on the corner or running away from cops or, so that's a sense of responsibility where it's like we, the three of us and our peers, we have the time and the energy and the ability to develop these ideas, but it can't stop there. It can't be about, I've developed ideas, now you develop ideas, and that's how we save the world, because lots of people are trying to stay alive, and I think we've got to develop ideas that include working on behalf of those people.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. A lot of times the spiritual lifestyle is a very privileged lifestyle. It depends upon a lot of other people performing the hard work that allows you to just buy your food at the grocery store.
Hey, you don't even have time to think about it.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta go. So
yeah, hopefully we cleared it all up now. And you got something to say? What do you got for us?
Yeah, I got one. I just want to say, Matt, in your video the one that you just made to me, the response to What's So Funny, where you were talking about the importance of talk. I just want to remind everybody and remind you especially that, I already made that video. I remember that was back in the day when we were talking about, that was when we were talking a lot more. And talk is important. This talk is important. Holon's Network is important, and both of your channels are important, and Stickam is important. But I've been doing less talk, and it feels good. I think if you do more thinking and more work, and you do some stuff on your own, then the talk is a lot easier and takes less time and is more concise, which I guess I'm not really demonstrating. But
no, I see your point.
It's there.
No, I see a lot of truth to that. There was a time about 3 or 4 years I didn't talk at all. Deep, just really zenning out all day, and I'm like, fuck anybody talking and on the internet. And then it's like a wavelength. Now I'm back in the social sphere. I think different people have their different wavelengths. I just happen to be an extreme personality. I take things to extreme. So, like me or hate me, I suppose.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, Zach.
Yeah, keep talking, but don't talk too much. That's my conclusion.
All right, we'll keep it balanced. Fair balance, my friend.
Adios.
Take it easy, man.
It's sustainable.
All right, later. It's not sustainable.
Wake up and save a life too, kid. Help us propagate truth. We at war. If we don't all fight, we might lose.